Mm-hmm. ATN outside the box. Like, subscribe, share. You know what we do and why we do it all the time. We got a war. We got a war to impact, baby. Let's get it. So check it out. Ice Cube breaks the code, man. Ice Cube breaks the code. Oh my God. People are losing their mind. Ice Cube breaks the code and skin folk. I just keep thinking, I can't get that out of my head. Skin folk. Listen, again, like, subscribe, share. Check us out, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. But you got to hear this. I mean, let's get this, right? So Ice Cube basically joins the idea, in terms of is trying to put together in reference to the whole platinum plan or whatever you want to call it. Uh, I think that he really started this idea a couple of years back when he met with quite a few of the black pastors in the country and made a decision to kind of, let's get the churches involved. This is exactly what the church is supposed to be doing anyway. The church is supposed to help the community, help the widows and orphans, secure the land and make sure everybody's comfortable and get things squared away. Make sure everybody is healthy and well and feed the poor, etc., etc. I think what's happened is it's a lost art in our American culture. Sometimes we've lost the idea of what we're supposed to be doing, how we're supposed to be doing it. And I think that Trump made a decision to call these black pastors because he realized that in the black community, these cats are dying by the droves every single day, every year. Hey, Miss Alice, how you doing? What's going on? So black men are dying by the droves, man. It's painful to watch on the streets. It's been happening for years. And I've been talking about this for the past couple of years on this channel. And I'm not going to stop talking about it because I really firmly believe that we got such a big, massive problem going on. And we're focusing on Democrats, Republicans, and presidents and all that. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. Let's deal with the real problem. Let's get our neighborhoods in order. But it cracked me up when I heard this. This reminds me back about a month ago or some weeks back when the AG, my man Daniel Cameron, the AG from Louisville, goes on mainstream TV and talks about the Breonna Taylor issue. And the man just got teared up, got choked up, very emotional, was bearing his soul, talking about how he felt about the whole case and what happened. But it was what it was. I mean, at the end of the day, I respect the man. I thought he did a phenomenal job. And then right behind him, I guess CNN decided to bring on this ex-retired LAPD sergeant who she got to get in on the shenanigans because she's a black woman and she's an ex-cop. And so now she wants to throw stones like she ain't really, paid attention to what's been going on out here for multiple years of her career. And, she's probably got twice my time, of being in the law enforcement sector as I was inside. But she just went on talking about this guy's, he might be skin folk, but he ain't kin folk. That's comedy. That is comedy. So she's now the aficionado on who's really black and who's not. He's skin folk, but not kin folk. So if he black, that means he has to be puppeted by a puppeteer. That means he has to say what every black person is supposed to say. And exactly what is every black person supposed to say? I'm quite unclear on that. So I guess she feels like he needs, or he should have said this, or he should have said that, or he should have said some specific things. So the Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General of Louisville, should have said something different than what he said because he's a black man. And it's pretty comedic to me because she's a retired sergeant. So she should know around this country, around this world, we got numerous black people in various forms of leadership. I spoke about it on this channel a couple of years ago when I told you that the whole top to bottom from the AG all the way down to the command staff in Baltimore, when that boy got killed in Baltimore, I told you that they were all black. So does that mean they're not really black because they don't feel like everybody else does? It's so confusing. It's bananas out here. It's comedy to hear all these people talking all this stuff. But I tell you something, I thought it was pretty interesting too. I left the whole party thing some years back. Ain't been a part of the party. I've been an independent voter for a minute. So I don't really subscribe to everything anybody says. But I will tell you what really alarmed me. Because I come from the black community. I come from the inner city. So I remember Kamala Harris very, very well. Maybe people right now don't want to talk about it. But I guarantee you if if you had Obama on, I mean, I'm just looking at little things, little nuances that I'm picking up on. If you had Obama or somebody black that's really, really talking Black Lives Matter, that would have been on national TV crying about what happened with Breonna Taylor, we really, really would be on his side right now in terms of the black community. It would be touting this man and talking, raving about him. Oh, he got emotional. Oh my God, he's crying. Oh, my people. And we would have been all on his coattail, riding with him, you know, if he had been crying. But because he's the AG in Louisville and he's black and he's okaying what the grand jury's decision was, he's skin folk, but he ain't kin folk. Comedy. But let me get back to my next point and let me wrap this up. Because what I think is funny is that as I said before, I'm not involved in the party thing, but I will say watching Kamala Harris and watching Biden, we really, really got under my skin when I saw that this man, not just forget the speech thing. He did the whole speech thing at the Klansman's, the eulogy at the Klansman's funeral. We didn't want to talk about that. I can get to that on another day. But I know a funny thing that people are going to try to act like that didn't matter. As though if Trump or somebody else white that other than a Democrat would have spoken at the Klansman's funeral, that you would not be making it world-class news right now. You definitely would be doing that because that's what you support. You don't support what the person, you don't look at the actions. We're looking at who the person is. So what we're doing is we're putting the face and we just putting it on the pig and we just letting that pig walk around and they can do whatever you want to do. No problem. Just slop up everything, right? So it's incredible to me that this man spoke at the eulogy, did a eulogy, and then he had the nerve to interview and make it mainstream a chick who made a song, who's a rapper, about her wet, that I can't say the rest of it. You already know. All I can say is wet. That's all I can say. I can't say the whole song. She made a song, and the week after it came out, or two, she's on an interview with the running president of the United States of America, the guy who's running for president of the United States. She's doing an interview with him. And so take that and couple it with what Kamala Harris said at her speech when she spoke a couple of weeks back, when she spoke of, she put out names about Breonna Taylor, she put out the names of George Floyd, and she named all these people in her speech. So what this says to me, when you couple these things together, it really alarms me. It makes me mad, actually, because I'm sick and tired of people in these Democratic parties who swear that all black people are gonna kind of support what they support if you say something about black criminals and like you on their side. Why would you take what are you saying to me as a black man by bringing up the names of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor or Jacob Blake? When you bring up those names in your speech, instead of bringing up, formidable names like Martin Luther King, or you want to bring up like Thomas Sowell or somebody like that, or prominent names just people of stature, people that stood for something. Even if you brought up Malcolm X back in the day when he turned his life around, you bringing up hoodlums or people in the hood that's doing things that are criminal in behavior because you're trying to appeal to a black audience when you do your speech. What are you saying about us as black people? That we stupid? We're not stupid. We smart people. We got a lot of people in prominent high positions around this country. Chiefs of police, judges, lawyers, doctors, surgeons. We don't want to talk about that because that surgeon, he doesn't get no kudos no more, if you know where I'm coming from. But it's so sad to see that they would use a ploy of like Cardi B and criminal behavior of some of these people that were killed in the line of fire or in situations that had went on while they were performing criminal acts. They were killed, and we're going to use them as part of our speech to appeal to the black audience, as though black people ain't smart enough to be appealed to by talking about powerful professionals in the United States of America who are doing well. It's pretty sad, man. And for you to go that far, and it sucks because Ice Cube suffered the same nonsense that Steve Harvey did when Steve Harvey went to meet with Trump. It's absolutely pathetic. The man said, I want a seat at the table, just like your boy T.I. made his big announcement a couple of years ago when he got on Atlanta's revolt panel. I want a seat at the table. I want the table. I want the whole table. Well, listen, man, you got to get to the table first. And when Steve Harvey got invited to the table, he went to the table and spoke. He connected with Ben Carson, another black man in a prominent position. That's what we're about. Building family bridges to build a better America. And when you talk about a man who does that, what are you doing? You're sabotaging him. You're shooting him down after he goes and does what God told him that maybe he should be doing. Steve Harvey goes and meets with the man and then gets talked about, railroaded, hammered by his best friends, talked about by people all around the country. And then he spoke of it. And there's a leak on YouTube when he went to a fraternity party of his and basically let everybody know how he felt about what they said about him across the country. Now Ice Cube's dealing with the same thing. Catching heat and hell over the fact that he made a decision not to support a bunch of people in the Republican Party, but just to join forces and say, you know what, Trump, I'll stand by what you're going for because this is what I want for the community. Smart man. Smart man. If you look at where he came from and where he built his life, you know, the angle that he came and how he walked this line all the way to this point, and he made a decision. It's almost as if we're saying as black people that in order for you to be truly black or be skin folk or be kinfolk and not just skin folk, in order for you to be that guy for us, you have to do what we want you to do. We want you to be puppeteered by the black community to say and do whatever we want you to do. Don't have a mind of your own. Do what you're told to do. Say what we want you to say. And when the minute you step out of line, we snipping the strings. We're going to let you go. All because you made a decision that you thought would better the community or better some people. And I much rather have somebody doing what he's doing or what Steve Harvey did than for you as candidates to try to swoon me and dupe me by talking about criminal behavior in the streets or using criminals' names in your speech to get my attention. I'm not that stupid as a black person, and black folks never stood for that back in the day. We didn't stand for thuggery and hood life and all that nonsense that we supposedly think is okay nowadays. Black folks didn't stand for that. We stood for righteousness, doing the right thing. We represent the church. We went to church. We raised our kids in the church. And the large majority of our families back in the 60s, 50s, 40s, whatever, we had families, whole households with husbands and wives raising their children, as opposed to now, 75% of these homes with mama raising the babies. Absolutely ridiculous and stupid. And just because you name some criminals who just died at the hands of police, you're going to try to get my attention with that or get me your vote or get me to vote for you based on the fact that you're naming criminals in your speech. Absurd. Eye control, and then we got old retired sergeants from LAPD talking about, the man needs to be he ain't skin folk. I mean, he ain't kin folk. He just skin folk. Man, come on with all of that. We got some serious problems, people. We need to right the ship. We need to pray, ask God for clarity, and continue to move in the direction we're supposed to be moving, where we was moving before this whole George Floyd incident. Did we have problems in the community? Heck yeah. And it's been going on for a long time. And it ain't nobody else's fault. But we have to look in the mirror and figure out how we can fix this. This is our problem. We need to deal with the community. We need to stop the murders and everything that's happening around the inner city. We need to go to these mayors. We need to go to these Congress people and talk to them about dealing with that. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. Even with Trump's plan of the Platinum Plan and giving up, I don't care if you give every black community in this world millions and millions of dollars. If folks don't change their minds and get their minds right, if we don't get emotionally intelligent in our lives, if we don't start seeking, turning our face to God, if we don't start getting down on our knees and praying, as God says, if my people who call by my name will turn from their wicked ways and pray, I'll heal the land. If we don't do that stuff, it doesn't matter how much money we get. We're going to blow it anyway. Because money's been going to the community for years, for those of you who actually pay attention. There's money that's been going to the inner cities for years. There's money that's been going to single moms for years. There's money that's going to these social programs for years. And all of these communities are ran by black people at the top. Mayors, congressmen, police officers, police departments, and all of that. And I want to know why we trying to find somebody to blame. That's what we always do. We can't blame nobody for this. This is our issue. We must fix it. And we first got to get our head out of our behinds. If we can do that, I guarantee you we'll be in a much better place. And we won't be okay with supporting gangster, thug, drug selling, street mentality. Because that's not what we about. Good black church folks, this is what we about. Raising our families, respectful kids who look the part, act the part, raised right, reared right, wearing your pants on your waist, dressing appropriately, keeping your hair lined up. You feel me? I mean, people just don't get it. We didn't forgot. As boy Roy Jones used to say, y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot what we stood for. Let's wake up and smell the coffee, people. Come on, Black America, quit playing games. Let's get this right, all right? We need to save souls, save lives, stop our boys from shooting each other on the streets. That's what this is about. This ain't got nothing to do with white cops. This ain't got nothing to do with the community. It ain't got nothing to do with social justice. It ain't got nothing to do with systematic race. No. Systematic racism ain't got me killing my brothers in the street. No. Say that drama for somebody else. And I know this is going to make you mad today. That's okay. You'll get over it. Once you look in the mirror, you realize, you know what? It is on me. If it's to be, it's up to me. You'll get it. Don't be mad. Get glad. It's going to be okay. I got your back. I love you. I wouldn't, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be saying none of this. We got to teach and preach. And I want to thank you guys too. I appreciate you guys for support, man. The Facebook views are going crazy. I'm like, oh, wow. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. YouTube, not so much, but that's okay. YouTube will get it later. They scared. It's hard to see a black man, from the inner city who turned it around and doing the right thing. And he's speaking out loud, saying something that, we ain't hearing from any black folks. Folks don't want to hear this. You don't want to hear this. And you definitely don't want to hear from a guy who actually worked on the front lines on both sides. Being from the inner city, but also been on the cop side too. It ain't too many of us out here. But I'm here to tell you, it's different than what you think it is. Quit playing games with me. I'm going to tell you the truth. Outside the box, what we do, we don't say the same thing everybody else, so we step outside the box. That's what we say. We say something different. Something you ain't always going to hear every day. This ain't your everyday news network. Nah. Let's see things through a faith-based lens. Do something different. Let's think outside the box of the norm. Let Christ be your guide. Make quality decisions. Think for yourself. Don't try to be like everybody else. Don't say what they want you to say. Don't be puppeteered. Use some wisdom. Quit playing these games with these folks out here on the streets trying to make you believe that you're something that you're not. Or trying to make you believe you're less than. God created you for more. You destined. Forget Black Lives Matter. You destined. You don't matter, you're destined. The world got to tell you matter, then you don't matter anyway. It ain't about what the world think. You're destined. That's what God called you to. You're destined. So receive that. Get your head right. We're destined for purpose. That's what we're here for. We're not here to do some of the ignorant stuff we're doing right now. Let's make amends. Outside the box, your man Ation. Like, subscribe, share. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Get at me. You got something to say, put your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And I want to hear what you got to say. I want to hear your voice. I'll come back and respond. Don't trip. Holla at your boy, your man Ation, signing off.